Every generation in Formula One has its defining champion. And just like the greats before him, Max Verstappen's career path has always been the subject of speculation, rumors, and what-if scenarios. Perhaps the most fascinating question fans keep asking is, why did Verstappen never join Mercedes? After all, the Silver Arrows dominated Formula One for nearly a decade. But the reality is that this move was never as close as some might think. To understand why, we need to trace the story step by step. Let's rewind to 2014. Max Verstappen was still a teenager, dominating karting in Formula 3. Both Mercedes and Red Bull were watching him closely. Toto Wolff and the late Niki Lauda personally met with Max and his management. Mercedes clearly recognized the talent early. But here's the problem. Their Formula One seats were already occupied by Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, both in their prime and both locked into contracts. The only offer Mercedes could realistically put on the table was a place in the Junior Series, GP2 at the time. Red Bull, on the other hand, were far more aggressive. Helmut Marko and Christian Horner gave Verstappen something Mercedes could not: an immediate seat in Formula One with Toro Rosso for 2015. Think about that. At just 17 years old, Verstappen had the chance to skip the traditional ladder entirely and enter the highest level of motorsport. It was an unprecedented offer, and one that no ambitious driver could refuse. Mercedes lost out before the story even began. From that point forward, Verstappen's career became deeply tied to Red Bull. By 2016, he was promoted to the senior team, replacing Daniil Kvyat mid-season. And on his very first race with Red Bull, Verstappen won the Spanish Grand Prix. That victory changed everything. It not only cemented Verstappen's reputation as a generational talent, it also gave him loyalty to the team that trusted him before anyone else. Now fast forward to 2017. Rumors began to swirl that Verstappen could be a target for Mercedes, especially as the Hamilton-Rosberg rivalry ended with Rosberg's retirement. But again, Verstappen had little reason to move. Red Bull had already built their long-term project around him. By 2018, they committed to Honda as their engine partner, and Max became the face of that transition. Meanwhile, Mercedes remained focused on Hamilton and the rising potential of Valtteri Bottas. It's worth pointing out something crucial here. Mercedes never had a real opening for Verstappen. Hamilton was winning titles year after year, Bottas was a reliable number two, and later George Russell was positioned as the natural successor. There was never a logical moment where Mercedes could simply clear a seat and drop Verstappen in. Formula One contracts are complex, and Verstappen's ties to Red Bull were ironclad, with extensions keeping him secure until 2028. Toto Wolff has openly admitted this in interviews. He explained that Mercedes never pursued Verstappen aggressively because the timing was never right. In his words, Mercedes first needed to get their car back to winning form before they could even think about attracting a driver of Verstappen's caliber. And by the time Mercedes' performance began to dip in the new ground effect era, Red Bull had already established complete dominance, and Verstappen had no reason to jump ship. On the other side, Red Bull were never going to let their star slip away. Christian Horner has said repeatedly that Verstappen has never been available to Mercedes. Helmut Marko also revealed that Red Bull's ability to act quickly and decisively is what kept Verstappen loyal. And for Max, loyalty is not just a word. He's described Red Bull as his second family, and it's clear he feels comfortable within an environment that gives him freedom, trust, and machinery capable of winning. Now let's look at the most recent developments. As Lewis Hamilton announced his departure to Ferrari for 2025, many fans reignited the rumor mill. Could this be the opening for Mercedes to finally land Verstappen? The short answer, no. Verstappen himself publicly confirmed he would remain at Red Bull for 2025 and beyond. Toto Wolff has been clear about Mercedes' direction. The team is investing in youth, with George Russell as the established lead driver, and Italian prodigy Kimi Antonelli set to make his Formula One debut. Wolff even dismissed the Verstappen rumors outright, saying it was never part of Mercedes' plan. That tells you everything. For all the noise, there was no negotiation, no secret deal, and no collapse of talks. So why did Verstappen never join Mercedes? The real explanation is simple, but layered. First, Mercedes never had the timing or the seats available. Second, Red Bull gave Verstappen a faster and more direct route to Formula One, and then built their future around him. In the end, the Verstappen-Mercedes story is less about missed opportunities and more about how Formula One careers are built. Max made the right move at the right time, and Mercedes made the right call to focus on their own path. History shows that sometimes the best deals are the ones that never happen.